Oh man, just looking at this deck makes me very happy. It's a Selesnya ramp list. We're going to be playing in some standard. Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Let's start with Storm the Festival. Look at the top 5 cards. You may put 2 permanent cards with mana value 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield. So what are some of the good ones to smash down? Wrenn and Seven, the Planeswalker that can make tree folk. Esika's Chariot that can clone those tree folk. Hell yeah. Ayo, the Dawn Sky, another strong peel. It's a 5/4 Vigilance flyer that allows us to, again, look at the top 7 cards, put any number of non-land permanent cards with total mana value 4 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Lots of cascading down. We also have the excellent Wandering Emperor Planeswalker that I adore. At the low end, we have a little rampy dude, a comically rarely seen rampy dude that is inherently so good in the meta right now because it's a 2-mana 2/3. 2/3 as a stat line is so good because there's a lot of 2/2s in the meta, a lot of 2/1s, a lot of things that want to break through, starting really early. I mean, even something like, gosh, what's the name of it? Like the trainer one. The Masterful Trainer Boy, that's a 1/2 that can train up to a 2/3 and a 3/4 and so on. A 2/3 is really good at blocking that bastard. We have Yasharn, Implacable Earth, to gain some more forets and planes from there as well. Hopeful Initiate, thank you very much. Skyclave Apparition and Borrowed Time, some of the 3-mana removal slots. If we take a peek in the sideboard, we just have some things that are very good at dealing with enchantments, because enchantment lists like 9 enchantments is very strong. Rydane, God of the Worthy, an extremely common card to throw in against other control lists. Doomscar against the aggros, Portable Hole against the aggros, Borrowed Time, both against the aggro and some very specific, obnoxious, painful ones. Farewells against the enchantment and aggro lists, Elite Spellbinders versus controls. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, basically, we're going to ramp up, cast Storm the Festival, and smash-a-roni. Omnispielens, semi-related to the previous discussion. What do you think about leveraging machine learning to help balance games? Perfect balance isn't always achievable, nor interesting, but it seems like a technique that could be explored. I mean, the long and short of it is I actually spent 1.5 years going pretty hardcore on machine learning stuffs. In short, it's a pain in the ass. It is a really, really obnoxious technology to work with. Like, way more so than you would initially imagine. We're up against what appears to be a similar looking list. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to chill. This could be an enchantments list. This could be another ramp list. And if it's a ramp list, I want to be the first one to get down Wrenn and Seven and begin duplicating it with the Chariot. So I'm going to go in this order. Naya. So it is likely going to be a runes list. Let's go ahead and shock in Emeria. Summon Wrenn and Seven. Gaining a help. So Welcoming Vampire is one that's been really common to see lately. I mean, anytime creature enters the battlefield that's small, draw a little bit. I mean, machine learning, one, it requires a ton of tooling and a ton of engineering time. Just a shitload. 2, I hate Thar. I think it's a total jerk. Oh no, my god.
Even in defeat, we grow.
I really gotta peel off the Welcoming Vampire, like, quite badly. Machine learning also, it's not like, ooh, here's our setup. Let's just apply some machine learning to it. You need to do a lot of heavy lifting to figure out even how to get your ML algorithm to do anything of value. There's extremely narrow, extremely specific ways in which this has been successfully implemented. So, for instance, let's say there's a tower defense game that has 20 allowable grid points. Oof. Oof. Fucking sucks. That has 20 allowable grid points. And maybe there's 7 different towers you can place on one of these 20 different grid points. And the machine learning algorithm is being rewarded with 1 point per second that they stay alive. That's something that is very narrow in terms of the scope that you could use to determine if there's certain compositions of towers that are too strong. But for instance, literally getting an ML algorithm to even do something functional at all in StarCraft is astonishingly fucking difficult. Why not Storm the Festival? Because Storm the Festival is triple green and we have double green. And we can't do things like... Well, I guess we could do this on the following turn where I tap, return, and then play it down. Yeah, so OpenAI, for instance, literally needed to have their shit running for like a year. Like everything. Like one of the real, like OpenAI, for instance, when they trained their AIs to learn to play Dota, they were live updating the model while it was learning so that they could effectively never stop learning.
You'll be safer. Strike fast and strike hard.
This feels so good. I mean, that took like years and 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 years to do. Great. Perfect. Ideal. I mean, like, literally years of millions upon millions upon millions of dollars being spent just to train the ability for the AIs to play with fucking 20 heroes. I think it was just 20 heroes. And that was it. I mean, it was astonishingly fucking expensive to do that stuff. Struggling to tell how aggressive this list is. Well, I don't need the Dawn Skies. I don't actually want to make that many changes. Should probably get these. This I don't think I need unless I'm against a super aggro matchup. Probably these, probably these. 25, 27. What is a bad card here? See, I'm not really a big fan of the borrowed times, if I'm being entirely honest. Maybe the Skyclave Apparitions need to get out. Opponent has a lot of creature removal. It's kind of where I want to go. Maybe. Ooh, I'm not entirely sure, actually. Ugh. I'm gonna say done. Jesus, ugh, gross. For dogs, didn't Blizzard partner with Microsoft to do some sort of arcane wizardry with AI/ML in StarCraft? Forgive me if I'm misremembering, but I'm manually coding content. It's melting my brain. Yeah, they did work together to make the Alpha Star algorithm. Or it was DeepMind. It wasn't OpenAI. It was DeepMind and Blizzard made Alpha Star. But it was a fucking... It was like a nightmare. I mean, and like, on one hand, it was the perfect demonstration that DeepMind had achieved something magnificent. I mean, it was the perfect example of this. I think these are the ones that needed to get out. Fuck. It was the perfect example that DeepMind had done something brilliant. And if it could do StarCraft, my god, it could do anything. But it only learned how to play Protoss, only learned how to play in Protoss versus Protoss, and had huge degeneracies, as was demonstrated when Mana basically glitched the AI in a live match. So, I mean, it's one of these things that, is there potential to do some really amazing stuff? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. 100 times yes. But, I mean, it's not applicable in a really basic sense. We need to pick off this guy right away. Well, I'm going to do the Skyclave Apparition. So this way, this gets permanently deleted. Yes, the 3/3 can return, but that's fine. Great, says, could Alpha Star play Protoss still after one balance patch? Or is it back to square one every time they make a change? It depends. It depends a lot. So, for instance, if the stat of a unit is included as one of its... So when it comes to machine learning, it's almost like there's sensors that you are sticking on your... No. It's almost like there's sensors that you're sticking on to your machine learning dude. And a simple way to put it is that if you don't give your machine learning algorithm the ability to hear, you only give it the ability to see, it doesn't matter if you change the sound in its environment because it doesn't have sensors for that. And so these are called input neurons. So you might have an input neuron that has the health and damage and armor of a unit. So that means it can sense what is going on with the armor and health and damage. But if you just say, here's a zealot, and you don't give it the information, then it never learned the stats of the zealot. And I know that's only 80% true. It's that it didn't use the very specific data of, here is the health and damage value of the zealot. It just goes, oh, I see that there is a zealot. Not what the data of the zealot is. Now, technically, we can make the statement, ooh, well, couldn't it be the case that it is learning to infer the overall values of the zealot based upon what's going on? Yes, absolutely, it could get to the point where it's inferring some of that, but it's very difficult to look. Very, very difficult to look and say with any definitiveness. well, this indeed it does. Ow. So, we need to do like this, and we need to do like that. This. Lot of creature removal in Top Shelf's list. Lot of creature removal. Metric sheet, loads of creature removal. What do I think about this? I think pulling the Storm the Festivals is actually pretty correct here. You know, here's what I think. I think we should just focus more on the ramping side of things. I think we should focus more on that first. And then put in these kinds of things. I think I need to de-emphasize single target pick-off removal and just get my big stuff out faster. I think that's going to be a more effective technique. Or just peeling these and putting in like 2 portable holes or some such thing. Yeah, I think that was a mistake that I did. And you saw me doubting that. So. Yeah, so, I mean, the long and short of it is that machine learning in games, I still think is probably 10 years off. Maybe less than that, maybe like 5 years off. Because you have to first have the ability to easily... That's a terrible hand. That's a solid hand. I need 1 defensive card. This lets me continue to ramp, so that's great. Going. Really? Lost my cat for a second. Okay, so let's see here. I mean, I actually am going to just remove Thalia. She's not some insanely good card. But, you know, I want to be able to play Yasharn on this turn and then play the Wandering Emperor. And if you need to do a counter card to the Skyclave Apparition, great. Do your counter card. Yeah, I think that you have the issues of setup difficulty. You need to be able to make sure that you set things up effectively. You have the compute difficulty. You need to make sure that there is tons of extra money and resources able to actually do the learning. There's tooling, so there's going to be a big pain in the ass for people that... Ooh, that's nasty. Sick. Super sick. There's tooling, like maybe you can have an API built. Ooh, that actually quite sucks.
I hope you're ready.
This is what I wanted to do. You bossed it.
I am almost sad to see you
Yeah,
go.
there's a lot of things that would make it challenging to achieve. Okay, and then this is going to buff that, maybe?
In this fight.
Buff that. Good read from the villain. There's not much we can do. We kind of need to just accept that this is the way that this is.
You protect. You are not
Maybe Storm the
much of a
Festival
roadblock.
coming off the top. I'm pretty pleased with my sideboarding, to be honest. Let's get our stuff out of there.
I have got new moves to teach you.
I think this is a pretty good play. Technoham says, do you think it'll ever get easier for it to be reasonably usable? Yeah, I think that, first of all, there needs to be a standardization of patterns of how to actually use machine learning for a game. And that doesn't exist. That's going to be someone trying to figure out some design style problem. Then there's going to need to be the ability to do the computation. Like, literally right now you have to pay millions and millions and millions of dollars to rent out servers that do absolute metric motherfucking shitloads of computation just to get your dude to learn. It's a pain. Bye, Yasharn. Put it on this. Swinging like that. So I know that there's a lot of work that's going into figuring out how to make technological architecture that's better at doing ML tasks, because machine learning is basically shitloads and shitloads and shitloads of matrix multiplication. This can safely attack too. Nice. Villain makes an error. Perfect. We're really close to drawing something that just instantly wins. Like a Doomscar. Whoa. Storm the Festival would have been good.
May your blades
Doomscar, Farewell, any of these things. Nice, really nice, really nice. I think that the big difficulty in that was the sideboarding. I think that we figured it out by game 3. Between games 1 and 2, I was really kind of like, ugh. And it's kind of interesting. There's research going into not using digital processors, but instead using analog processors to do some of the math for it. Because typically, if you're working in something that's like digital, you need absolute precision. Absolute precision. If you're working in analog, you get like 99% precision, which is unacceptable for certain tasks. Like, if you're trying to manage financial transactions, it's unacceptable. It needs to be perfect, so digital's good. But if you have an analog, you know, maybe a little better. So, I mean, they've been working on analog chips that are specifically built to do ML, and that's fucking sweet. Because it's okay in machine learning if it's 99% accurate, because you're doing it billions of times. Literal billions. They are billions. Literally. Alright, Naya Aggro. What is this? Great shot. Make treasures. A reflection of Kiki Jiki. Damn. Damn, who's this Kiki Jiki kind of freaky guy? So we are going to absolutely smash a Yasharn down, because this will give us the mana that we need to get to turn 4 and 5. So there's Plains and the Forets. Because a lot of times in machine learning, what you do is you have a set of outputs. Like, what action are you going to pick? Do I throw rock, paper, or scissors? And the algorithm doesn't pick rock, paper, or scissors. It doesn't pick one of those. It doesn't go 1, 0, 0. You know, it says 90% that paper is the best decision, 5% that rock, and 5% scissors. So we take the fact that it's 95-5, and then we pass that off and say, okay, so we're going to, like, effectively, basically, when it comes down to it, we're going to choose to do it in this way. We're going to choose to throw rock. I still think this is okay. Bada bada. So there we go. There's my long schmurple derple purple. So we're working towards Storm the Festival. We get to hey-oh. Hey-oh. Put 2 plus each permanent you control that's a creature or vehicle. Fuck, that's so sick. Create a token that's a copy of another target non-legendary creature you control. So it has haste. Sick. I wonder what that would be. Ermagerd and Tripper Derbyshire. Not really a good location to attack yet. So probably go plain Skyclave. Probably the right one to do. I'm gonna get the Intrepid Adversary because I think that if we can just storm the festival next turn, we should be okay. Okay, well that kind of really that gets us. That gets us. Storm the Festival is now in exile. Whoopsie dapsy dipsy doo. Ooh, that's nasty. Ooh, that is some nasty gaming right there. Ooh, Reflection of Kiki Jiki can make an elite spellbinder that swings. It'll deal for us a wee bit of damage, but more importantly, it is exiling a thing in our hand once a turn. Now, this only costs 2 more, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the 7th mana. We're going to be playing AO next turn, which is great. Take a little pain. That's fine. Prosperous Innkeeper is doing quite a good bit for us. Now AO can at least block it. And AO does have Vigilance, which is kind of a rare trait on flyers, like Flying Vigilancer. Flying Vigilancia. Not twice? Really? Not 2 times, huh? Not twice. Not 2 times. Good, very cool. Very well. So now I can Wandering Emperor and kill Kiki-Jiki, which is sweet. If these both swing, I'll pick off this Elite Spellbinder. If they both don't swing, I'll pick off this Elite Spellbinder. Way better. Now, we're either going to get to Storm the Festival. Hooray! Why can't I do this? Can I not count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yasharn. Can't sacrifice. Okay.
Anyone who harms my people must contend with me. You're done.
No good blocks. Superb. Crazy Bar says he played Esper Control / Planeswalkers. I mean, I was playing an Esper list earlier. If that's what you mean. Tell me what you mean, what you really, really mean. Alright, sweet. Oh.
I guess that's that.
Hey, we did it! Woo! Bam! Storm the festival. Yeah, let's get one of these. Let's get one of these. And everything else should have been with you.
Those who harm the forest destroy the gifts
-3.
nature grows. The will of the woods is made manifest.
Well, probably several 8/8s, which is good. Nice. I love this. I love this. AgroPace says, hey, and I've avoided watching your Elden Ring streams to avoid spoilers. What are your thoughts on it overall? God, 10 out of 10. 10 out of fucking 10. Third FromSoft game that for me hits a 10. Third one. Please, I insist. I just think it's magnificent. I think Elden Ring's magnificent. I love Elden Ring so much, dude. Oh my god, I mean, I've been an absolute... Yeah, no, yeah. You're right, Ed. I've been an absolute little weeper. I have been K-drama weeping about this shit. Kill stuff. Sure. Dude, AgroPay. I mean, I think that it is an achievement. Broken 11 says, if Dark Souls 1 is 10 out of 10, what's the second? Oh, Bloodborne. I was like, what do you mean what's the second to 10 out of 10? It's a 10 out of 10. Okay, so let's see here. Let's just... Oh, shit! I meant to hit +1. Ah! Dude, being me is like... It is just such a fucking pain sometimes to be me. Can I just say that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shit. Alright, well... Swing for 8. Play with the Rootgrazer ability. This is 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't have enough. Oh, my fucking Yasharn's dead. Whoops. I didn't realize my Yasharn was dead. I thought my Yasharn was dead. I didn't count it. I literally just solved this fucking problem. It's okay, I'd rather use the Rootgrazer to play Storm the Festival regardless. Yeah, I think that the Souls games are just incredible. I even went and played a little bit of... Artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land. Artifact, enchantment, non-basic land. I'll probably want to kill the Kiki Jiki. So let's do +1. Yay!
Foster much growth. Power grows with tender.
Yay!
I've learned much during my travels. Let me show you.
That's a good attack. This guy have vigilancy? Incredible. Should give this first strike. Yeah, I mean, I think that I actually went and played Demon Souls a little last night, and I mean, I just was kind of marveling at how fucking savage that game is. My God, it's so brutal. We're on a Genesis. Hello, good sir. I hope you're well. I am a mix of things. A lot of things are going well. March has been the best media month for me in ages. March has been the best media month for me in ages. March has really been something special. Elden Ring, Severance, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Batman. I mean, fuck, man. It's been so much good shit. I'm almost like, on one hand, this is gonna hurt. On the other hand, I don't give a shit. I mean, it's been great. There was a big scare with my darling doggy, Cecilia Bone Eyes Posen. Cece. We had quite a little scare with her dog. She's alright, though. She is doing A-okay. Hip, hip, hooray.
Back to wandering.
This one's gonna go. There's a lot of life stresses as well. That was the first game. Oh. Alright, so what we want is we want the big sweepers. We want to get rid of some of the slow removal. Right? We want to get rid of some of the slow removal. I think that's correct. Skyclave Apparition is fine. I mean, I actually think that this is correct. I want to stay large, because my opponent is going to be getting stronger over time and is not necessarily sprinting to pick me off the way that a white, red, some of these mono green aggro lists would do. In those situations, I'd want the portable holes, borrowed times, as much removal as possible. I'd want to ignore the high end, like Storm the Festivals and something like this. Ooh, I'm really into this shit, man. But I mean, I think Elden Ring has been one of the most special experiences of my entire life. I mean, I'm breathless. Absolutely breathless. This is spectacular. Is it really the last day of March today? Fucking hell, last day of March? Jesus. Ooh, is that my card? Ooh. Oh, that's right. I know this one. All right, this is it. This is the game. See, this is a good example of what I mean when I say I want to try to ramp. And I want to chill. I want to ramp up and just chill. Argent Nod says, I've been parasocially in love with you since Elden Ring came out for all the great content. Your parasocial adoration is well taken, Argent Nod. I mean, the reason the game to me is so special is I think that there's been a real tension between making designs that are fucking good and a lot of the business models lately. So, for instance, you know, how many times have you seen a game that's like, hey, you can play one of 15 different operators in the game. Isn't that sweet? Fuck yeah. You start with 2 and you pay for the other 13. You know, and you're like, oh. Okay. Alright, okay. I'm gonna do this right away. I think this is a good thing. Hey, we're gonna release a game that's gonna be broken into a free part, and then 3 more parts you have to pay for. Which, you know, kind of fundamentally makes you go, oh. Oh, okay. Okay, alright. I now have seen the full extent of all the content that's before me. Alright, got it. And then when you sit down and you play Elden Ring, Elden Ring's just like, you have no fucking clue how much of me it is. You little baby. So much of me. No, that's my life. Ah! This is gonna be some good shit. Claudia says, is he talking about the insert the name of 98% of AAA games in the last 5 years? You know. There's been a mix of things in these games that are along the lines of, like, you know, I don't really know if my, you know, my hopes have been raised. Oh no, my hopes are fallen. I mean, I think Cyberpunk 2077 is a great example of you get your hopes up, and then they're fallen. Ah, that's too bad. Darn. Okay. Alright, I get it. It's okay. Alright. It's fine.
We prefer not to fight. From root to canopy, the trees are mighty.
Straight on the fire bridge for this is good. I'm holding back the Yasharn because I'm feeling extra paranoid because I think we've won. Yeah, so I think that there's been cynicism of big hype marketing for a 6 out of 10 game. Or here's something that gets me excited, but I feel like there's 10 different paywalls that are in the way of getting me to play the game. Or, here's something I've experienced a lot. This is a game that is so great anyone can play it. And it is. It's very simple, and I get bored right away. You know, there's shit like this where I'm just like, I just want some depth, and I want some bang for my buck, and I want some quality. I want some fucking quality, man. Then Elden Ring comes along and is like, I'm $60. Here's a shitload of stuff. Like, once I have finished, okay, because there's a little bit of a thing about financial transactions that I kind of want to be invisible. Like, I'm playing Magic. I have opened, I'm playing the game, and then when it's done, I'm playing another game. I need to switch this deck. I go to the deck builder, I do some stuff, and I come back. like, there is... What do I even want to do? Oh, we are owning, huh? I'm, like, in the game. The entire time I've been playing today, I've been in the game. I like that shit, man. When you open up Elden Ring and you're playing it, you're just in the game. When after every game, the game goes, hey, do you really think that maybe, like, what you'd be interested in doing is, like, spending $3 to unlock some gems? Like, I just get tired of that. It's like, it removes my suspension of disbelief.
You are not much of a roadblock.
You're not much of a roadblock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Esika's Chariot. I don't know, I'm... There's been a few games that, like, okay, so, I mean, Kraid, it's good to see you here. Kraid. Dude. Like, from being honest, man, Total War Warhammer 3 is fucking great. I bought it. And it's just good. You play it, and then midway through one campaign, you can be like, ooh. It's a good game, right? Like, there's been some really fucking great games. I'm coming out lately. Oh god, I got... Cat hair in my nose. I can feel it. Oh! Ugh. Ugh. Oh, fuck. So, I mean, I think there's room and reason to be optimistic. For sure. Whoa, easy, buddy. There's room and reason to be optimistic, for sure. For sure, for sure, 1,000 times,
I
for
have
sure.
got new moves to teach you.
Come on in. Don't hit the spacebar, please. Don't hit the spacebar. I want to see what villain does here. Let us see what goes down. I think I'm actually going to -3 this again.
I'm never done.
Frankly, even Neon Dynasty is just astoundingly good. It's so good, dude. It's remarkable. It is a remarkable game. Vampire Survivor, man. Shit, that game's fucking awesome. The game really kicks ass. Got him. So, I mean, there's reason to be showcasing great optimism in a lot of ways. What a good cat. What a good cat. Loop Hero is a fucking hilarious game to me. The simplest description I heard of Loop Hero is a game where they simply made 12 pleasing systems, all of which are known, all of which are simple, and they just set them next to each other. I mean, in a lot of ways, that game is just not doing profound and new shit. It's like, hey, look, it's an auto battle. Hey, look. There's an item. You can use it to throw out your existing one and get a different one. What do you think? What do you think, video gamers? Oofy Nana. Hello, I'm Oofy Nana. Ooh. Oofy Nana. Hi, sweetie. Oh, what a good cat. What? Very well. Like Loop Hero. It's like so not like a complicated design of like carefully balanced intertwining components. The way like a Dota is. Or like a Counter-Strike is. Loop here is just like, yeah, you just go up in levels. Yeah, it's just automated. Yeah, you've grid-based building with adjacency bonuses. Yeah, that's it. I don't know what the hell this deck is. Play the Skyclave Apparition, try to pick off the Malevolent Hermit. Anything generic. Just gifted 20 subs. Fuck yeah, anything generic. Hell yes. Fuck yeah, anything generic. Yes. Anything generic says, hey, man, I just want to contribute to the community. My wife and I love your content. Been obsessed with the Elden Ring YouTube of late. I can't play because I get tilted way too quick to handle that. But watching you has been a method for me to enjoy the game. So I thought I'd hop over from YouTube while I can't spoil myself, episode 23 currently, and contribute. Heart to you all. You are all the real gamer. Oh my god. Thank you warmly. Meow! That makes me really happy, anything generic, because it actually did not occur to me until maybe 2 days ago, someone said that, like, you know, I really struggle to play these games, but I'm watching the game. Watching your playthrough. Lots of cats, who word better? This is weird, this is weird, we're doing some weird stuff, Looks weird, but it plays around Jawari Disruption, which I think is really insanely good.
The entire forest is an army.
Here's an interesting topic. Kalada says, sorry if you said about this before, what is your thought about Fortnite taking out a core mechanic in walls from the game to try to bring in new players? Aren't they shooting their own foot? Sure. So let's talk about this. So Fortnite is a game that originally was a PvE experience where you would go out, and this is a simplification, but whatever. You'd go out into the woods, you'd mine for resources like wood and stone and various equipment, and then you'd come back and you'd build walls and traps and all sorts of good stuff. We're gonna chump this. This is really good news. This is a really good outcome. Hey, Ghosty, German Gary Oak's comment was oh, it was actually all right. It was actually all right. German Gary Oak, don't mind us. We're trying to be unbelievably cautious about spoilers.
hope you're ready to lose. We must protect the people.
Great. But I don't remember when we first got there, but I remember when I remember a time that we did. And I don't remember it now either. German Gary Oak, I apologize. I don't remember when that first happened. I don't remember. Rats. But anyways. So once upon a time, Fortnite was a game where you'd go out into the woods, you'd collect resources, you'd come back, you'd build a little base with traps and walls and shit like this, and then, at night, monsters would come, and the monsters would attack you! And those vicious, meanie, attacking monsters, you know what they would do? Try to take you down, so you'd have to aim and shoot and keep building and repairing. And the game wasn't going well. PUBG had just came out, so they transitioned sharply to a battle royale game. Used all the old mechanics of Fortnite, the construction, the mining for resources, the gunplay, and just transitioned it straight to a battle royale game that was free, and lo and behold, it fucking detonated in popularity. So you don't want me to do that, huh? You don't want this. Because I could go block, 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 and this would live. I think that's all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great.
We did not choose.
And so that wound up being the Fortnite that we all sort of know and are familiar with and stuff like this. That's the one that we really all know about.
Guards, to me.
Hit for 4. That's the one that we really know about. And so that got really huge, and the question is, hey, recently, Fortnite made it so that there's no construction, it's just running around and shooting. There's no construction at all. None. And this is kind of an interesting question. Like, is this good? Is this bad? So, the first thing I would note, Kalado, is there was a phrase that you used that was a little extreme, which is very natural when you're communicating about a topic in a setting like this. In a setting like this, it can be very challenging. I want the Rydanes. I want to pull these out. These come in. I just think we need less removal and more ramp. So there's the statement, aren't they shooting their own foot? I would always try to temper statements like this, even though it's very natural in communication-wise, to be like, do you think it's really bad? To help me focus on that. I would always hedge statements like this to say, do you think there is a concern with them removing this particular thing? And what do you think about that? Because anytime there's something extreme, do you think it'll ruin the game? Do you think they're ruining the game? Do you think they're shooting their own foot? Do you think they're going to fix their game? You know, like there's these almost more severe statements that I just always want to hedge and come back to the middle. Not that you were doing that, but, you know, pull it back. Because it's less that I'm trying to be diplomatic, and more that I think that it's inaccurate. I think that the concern would be, and almost always, if you have a multi-system game and you remove something, the concern that I would have is that almost universally, it feels great in the short term and has issues in the long term. For instance, in the video game of Dota's 2, if you removed items from the game entirely, the game would become easier to play. Immediately. There's no reason to farm except for certain level breakpoints. And this would change a good amount. Yes, yes indeed it would. Let's see if we can use that. I mean, it would make the game way simpler, but over time, you'd probably start to be like, oh, there's just not that much depth, there's not that much richness, oh my gosh, oh no. And this can be really dangerous in terms of feedback. I mean, I literally can name 2 games that got canceled, where I got the opportunity to play test them. And there was a lot of complexity, but it was kind of messy. Some messy complexity. But man, people were like hooting and hollering about how cool and potential, or how cool it could be, what the high potential was, etc. You know what fucking happened? That game came out. Or when that game, you know how they started to remove things from it, and everyone's like, oh, this is great, it's the same thing as before, but it's simpler. Let's do it more. Kept going. Oh, cool, it's the same but simpler. And at some point, like when you played it, you go, oh, there's actually just not that much here. Nah. And there's lots of examples of products that did get to completion. They wound up being kind of freaking boring. They wound up being kind of boring. And when people played them, went, oh, I see, it's simple that. Played it briefly. Put it down. Never touched it again. An example that I've used before, that I don't really feel like is as it is not as its weaknesses are not proportional to how often I bring it up. Oh, I'm gonna get Jwari Disruption, aren't I? No, I'm not. I'm the best player here. Grey Goo is a game that tried to simplify some of the construction and build-up process in an RTS, and it just felt so flat. It just felt like there was nothing happening. It removed these high-end problems that were really annoying. It removed these. But, you lost some of the cool, high-intensity joy. You know what I mean? And so I think that there is a risk. There's a risk with saying, hey, let's take Fortnite, let's remove the construction, and then someone starts playing it, and they have fun today, and then 10 hours in, they're like, it's kind of fucking boring. Fuck it, I'm not going to touch this. It's just another Battle Royale. It's kind of So I think that an argument that I have heard that I think is a great one is that if Fortnite removes the construction and then people hop in and play and find that the battling is unbelievably fun. Oh my god, it's so fun, just the basic controls. Oh, I just literally pick up guns and play in this crazy battle royale. Because Fortnite has like a ton of shit that it does that is fantastic, man. It's like, oops, I meant to block here and here. There's tons of like crazy things with like weird little mini games that are happening all over the place. Kind of wanted to land. It's all right. And then what they do is 10 days later, they remove the mode. And everybody goes, oh shit, this game is so sick with construction, right? So it's like a user acquisition tool. And that is what I think is really interesting. Okay, so do we believe that there is... Do Do we believe that our opponent has counters? Do we care? We do not care. And this is going to exile all these. Great. EGPG. Harry 7 Dresden, I loved the Batman. I loved the Batman. I thought it was fucking awesome. So good. So I think the fact that they made it a temporary mode is fantastic. Because it is an optional mode that you can play in that is temporary, that is open for just a little bit. And this is increasingly, I feel, the way that large companies do testing. Like, they'll say, hey, here's the weekly brawl, and they'll, you know, or the monthly brawl, and it's open for 2 weekends, and then it's off for 2 weekends. And there's a new one for 2 weekends, and it's off for 2 weekends. I mean, Ayo the Dawn Sky is actually, like, so good in this matchup. Healing, healing. Yeah, it seems like increasingly you just have these crazy test opportunities that are done by just throwing out some weird mode, and then they go, oh shit, like a lot of people like that stuff. Oh, do that again. So I would say, all in all, I think it's terrific. That's what I think. My name is Sean, and these are my answers. Treasure, treasure. I do not want to block with Ayo, because we've literally seen Dragon's Fire. Demon Bolt. So Dragon's Fire is the more likely one to live in the long term. Or not live, but more likely to be 4 in the main. So I don't want to make my Ayo the Dawn Sky vulnerable. Okay. I'll just kill the cheeky guy. Great. Yeah, I thought Batman was awesome. Yeah, and I mean, it could be that they transition it to a permanent mode, at which point, you know, if they make it a permanent mode, fantastic. Couldn't be happier by that outcome. Couldn't be happier by that outcome. Swing with your little baby cats. Swing with your baby cats. Great, 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 great. Oh, it's so good. So, yeah. Tangerine says, never thought I'd see you move away from Elden Ring. Again, I would hedge the extremeness of that statement. I am not playing it today. I was playing it yesterday. I was playing it literally like 18 hours ago. 22 hours ago, something like that. Playing it not very long ago. We're probably going to play it about twice a week. Next scheduled day is Tuesday. Dude, I will say the best thing I ever did see, the best thing ever. Oh my god. I love it so much, I can hardly handle how much I love it. Was the editor-in-chief of PC Gamer tweeting that Elden Ring was down 50% of its player base 2 weeks after release. There's like no word from the developer and no battle pass in sight. Fucking so funny. Oh, I should have played this thing first because it does another damage. Oh my god, I mean, that is so funny. Alright, get them all. It's so funny. I mean, it's true, there's all these people that are just like, this game, it's falling apart. It died in my lap. I've heard people talk about the death of Fortnite and shit. Fortnite is just literally one of the most popular games in the history of mankind today. The game is astonishingly popular. Alright, what are we doing? Gold span. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it. Okay. I see what you're doing. I'm picking up what you're putting down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. $10-10. This is a 7-7. If I attack with this, be a double block. This is a good attack. Bad for us. It's good for us. Double heals, double deals. Look at this. All my Storm the Festivals in the bin. Every single one. Not an issue. This is a complicated turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is going to get eaten by this. I still think it's okay, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's impossible for my opponent to summon 2 Hall of the Storm. Holy shit, that is as bad as it gets. Yeah, that's death. I don't have enough on the swing back. Ooh, that was a good one for them to get. I think this is okay. I think this is an okay run out. They also don't have a lot of anti-air. All right. Okay, let's see. Poofine on 3 draws got Goldspan, Cat Chariot in the bounce land. That was pretty rough. That is a card game. I'll play first. I think playing first seems pretty cool to me. Oh, baby, that's a good one. It's hard for to keep us off this Murasa Rootgrazer. Boseiju endures. This tree is so fucking sick, man. I mean, we just have to make sure that we can time this Storm the Festival. And on my opponent's turn 4, they'll often want to... Sure, no blocks. I'm over the moon to see that. That's really great news. This is... Put basic land from your hand onto the battlefield. Oh, stuck on 2, are we? Boseiju who endures. Tap this to put a basic land from your hand onto the battlefield, like this forest. Cast Storm the Festival. My opponent's stuck on 2. Immediate concession. Wrenn and Seven. Wandering Emperor or Spellbinder. Probably just the more expensive one.
Trees are mighty.
May your blade strike.
I mean, this is quite nasty.
I have other groves.
Well. Alright.
Remember your training.
I mean, this is a lot of damage. I mean, Ufinana, as we said before, is in fact playing a card game. And therefore all the usual pains of card games come along with it. Hilariously, we'll actually be able to Probably cast this turn. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't quite, but got him. Power of ramp. Excellent. That's right, it's Boseiju. E-I in Japanese is A. That's right, Boseiju. Well, on Thursdays, we always wrap up, in theory, around 4, but it's around 5. So we're just going to wrap up right now. Finger guns. And tomorrow is going to be Friday, and I'm very excited because we're going to be playing some Impossible Creatures. 2003 RTS. Never actually got around to playing. As we continue our nostalgia tripping of OG RTS games, Total Annihilation and Supreme Commander are in fact on the menu. For the next few months. Finger guns. Finger guns. Thanks for joining us today. Gorky's 2 says, I can imagine Felidar Retreat. I think valid place in that deck. Any thoughts on that before you go? The meta game is pretty fast right now, and Felidar Retreat has this problem where it doesn't do anything the first turn it comes down, or at best, it summons a 2/2. So that's not actually very strong. And so, I almost feel like the Wandering Emperor is an example of a slightly more versatile removal Felidar, right? It can come down and kill a thing, and then make a 2/2. So it kind of has the same effective when it lands on the board, but there's a removal instead of long-term value. So some of the ways in which Felidar Retreat has shown up and been effective in these kinds of decks is if there's a lot more clog on turns 1, 2, and 3, with lots more creatures down at this low end, such that the Felidar Retreat is a way to come down and give +1/+1 in Vigilance to smash through, and that's the primary use case, and it also allows for longevity. But just focusing on the longevity type stuff, just getting more 2/2s over time, is not as impactful as running something that is more active within a 2-frame or within a 2-turn window. Within a 2-frame window, sorry. Well, I guess we watch too many fighting game vids. So that's what I think. I think that, obviously, Storm the Festival makes a really good case for, hey, maybe we should include some juicier things, but all the cards in this list kind of have a theme of it either immediately contributes to ramp or it immediately resolves some sort of issue against aggression or can put on pressure this turn or next turn. And Felidar Retreat just like, I will slowly over time have lots and lots of cats eventually. You will eventually drown out. And I love lists like that, but I think that this is not the one for that. Okay, bye-bye. I'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, everyone. More Magic next week, more Elden Ring next week. You can look at the calendar, and the calendar is true. It's telling the truth, which is different from me. One day 9 always tells the truth, and one day 9 always lies.